Well, welcome everyone. I am here with the beautiful Vicki. Hey, Vicki.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
And Vicki's coming in live from Houston, Texas. So I'm beyond excited to connect with her because she actually graduated our signature program, our Beating Binge Eating Blueprint program 4 years ago. This is probably the official longest out interview I've ever done. So when I saw your name on the schedule, Vicki, I was ecstatic. And I just can't wait to show everyone how far you've come, because I know when you came to us, your struggle was very consuming and debilitating. And now, it sounds like you're in this beautiful place of freedom. You moved into a house, you're living life in
Yes.
Houston. So I'm just excited to connect with you and have everyone learn from your journey. So when we just to start, can you kind of share a little bit about where you were at, pre-reaching out to us, before coming through the program? What did your struggle with food look like?
Well, I was very lost. I started dieting when I was 10 years old, so very young. And because all the pressure of my family and the society, I was a girl in a healthy way, but people were like, you need to be thin because fat girls are not pretty, so you don't want to gain weight. And I was just 10 years old, so I started dieting at that age, and then I lost lose weight and gain weight back again and dieting, and that was going and going and going on till I find your program. I was 39 years old, so it was my whole life unhappy, trying to find willpower, or why I need to be like that, why I need to I want to have control of over what I eat. So I was very unhappy because I was feeling like I was different. There is something wrong with me. My mom always, oh, you need to lose weight. What you gain a lot of weight. So everything was like about that. So my complete life was about dieting, food, control what I need to eat. So I didn't know that I had the eating disorder till I start researching. I didn't understand that binge eating, it was a disorder because of dieting and dieting and dieting. So
Mm-hmm.
I find you, and it was like, oh my God, it was like life for me because I was very lost.
Yeah, yeah. Well, wow. I mean, there's so much to unpack from that, right? Like first you grow up in this environment and culture and family that starts instilling these messages that to be beautiful, to be loved, to be worthy, you have to be a certain size, right? And I think sometimes trying to be thin will get a bad rap, but so many people don't realize that we get these beliefs kind of programmed in us at such a young age, and then our identity can become just
Oh yeah.
fighting to be this size, and fighting our body so hard. And yeah, it's so many people, I think when they hear the word binging, they're like, oh, that's this full-blown eating disorder. That's not me, right? Oh, my cat's meowing. No, kitty.
I have my
She
cat
has
on my bedroom because
she has
they want
a
to jump.
door she goes out right here to go explore in the grass, so she just meows typically while I'm on interviews. So I think it's really interesting that for you, and this I think will relate to so many viewers, you didn't really feel like you had this full-blown binge eating disorder. You felt this whole time that you just couldn't control your eating, like something was wrong with
Exactly.
you didn't have the willpower and you couldn't control the eating. And whether it's a disorder or not a disorder, you come to find out that this behavior with food is a thing and there's reasons for it. And so talk to me about that. So you come into our program, you start learning all that's actually going on underneath the surface. You start finally taking some pressure off of you. You realize it's not your fault. You realize you're not broken. So what's life like now? Like, yeah, and you can talk about that process a little because I know 4 years is a huge gap. But yeah, like what's that been like for you?
Well, during the program, I started learning things that I was like, okay, I don't need willpower. I need free will. So, it's like I can eat that pizza, but, I want that pizza, or it's good for me. So it's just you need to be free to eat whatever you want if you need it, because food for me now is just fuel, or the way that I nourish my body, but it's not like the way that I cope with sadness or the way that I need to be happy. So it's just food. Food don't rule my life now. Food used to rule my life. Food now is just fuel, and the way that I nourish my body. That what is different now from then when I started the program. And I learned that from your program, because I was like, okay, but I my mind was like, my connections were like wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I just, during my 39 years old, during my 39 years, I was like learning the wrong relationship with food. So, and I start my healthy relationship with food when I start your program.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. And that's an interesting takeaway. So it's like this piece where food is there to nourish your life. You know, it's not necessarily a coping tool. It's not a thing that you have to control and fight. Like you can have the pizza, or I know you said you own a restaurant. Like
Yeah.
you can try what's at your restaurant and enjoy it. But then also like making those nourishing decisions. And I think sometimes when people hear about our work, they get a little nervous that we're going to like go make them eat pizza all day, every day. But
Yeah.
that's not the point necessarily. It's the
No.
freedom to choose the pizza and also take care of yourself through the process too. And I feel like you found a really good balance to that.
And when I discovered that, there is a key thing in your program that make this change, is like when you I always remember, it's a hard word for me in Spanish, but it's relinquishing restrictions. That
Yeah.
word, that is like a big thing for me, because when you say no to something, you want that thing more than
Mm-hmm.
no. When you say you can have it, okay, well, I don't want it. So it's like when you relinquish restrictions and you get free, you don't need to eat the pizza because maybe, okay, I don't feel good when I eat pizza. It's not because I could not eat pizza because I'm gonna gain weight. It's because it's not good for me. I can have it, but I don't want it.
Yeah.
It's different when the prohibition come into act. It's different.
Yeah, I love that. And then on those days that you do have it, there's not that guilt and, oh, I need to eat it all because I did something bad and then I
Yeah.
have to start over or whatever that
And
is.
then I
So,
need to eat the whole pizza because maybe tomorrow I need to start dieting and I could not have pizza anymore. It's just okay. I can grab a piece of pizza because I want it, but that's it.
yeah. Yeah, and for anyone that's watching this that feels like that is so far-fetched and unbelievable, I bet you Vicky felt like that would never be possible. Like you probably felt like if you ever told yourself that you could have the pizza, that like you would want it all the time. But doesn't it talk about that kind of like magical thing that starts happening where the huge desire for it starts going away? Like when did you notice that in your journey?
Well, I think it was like when I started the program, I tried to follow. I was afraid because okay,
Yeah.
if if I eat pizza or bread, it's carbohydrate. It was all these things coming in my mind. So I was like, stick to the program. Okay, if I want that, I'm gonna eat it. And during my journey, my mom, who lives in Spain, came to visiting us. So she was like, "Are you gonna eat that?" Yes, I'm gonna eat that because I want it. But you know that that's you're gonna gain weight. Okay, I'm gonna eat it because I want it. It was like all my inside like fighting plus my mom. So she stayed just for 1 month. Thank God, because it was a very stressful thing for me. But then I realized that after I think 4 months, I start like I don't want that. No, maybe no. It's I can have a piece, but I didn't have the urge to eat the whole thing or to binge, or it was like progressive, you know. As more free I feel to eat it, um less was my desire to eat that thing. So more freedom became more like less anxious to eat. So I was
Got
like,
it.
wow. So yeah, I was,
Yeah.
it was crazy. I didn't thought it was like that. I was always thinking that I need willpower. Okay, I could not eat that. If I eat a piece, I want the whole thing. So when you start realizing that you can have it if you want it, just you can eat it. So you feel free. So you don't, the desire like disappear.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I love that. And then talk to me about, I know we've talked about all the differences with the food, but how has this impacted your life for the better? Work, career, relationship, family, like what would have been the other impacts without this struggle just kind of hanging over your head?
Well, I don't feel like I have a big change in my family. Well, my husband and my son. My career, I graduated from accountancy, and I always want to be an artist. Now I'm working on my pieces more. Um, I don't spend so many time thinking about dieting, preparing my food, and what I'm gonna eat. I don't weigh myself anymore. I don't think
Yay.
about that. That's a
Yeah.
big one for me. So I think the big change is the relationship with myself.
Mm,
So I feel more secure about me. I don't feel like 5 years ago I was like uh, I was not able to mm, see my reflection on the mirror. Now I feel comfortable with myself. So I think that's the big change. Not with my family or with my career. The only change with my career was like now I'm doing more artwork. But I think the biggest change is the relationship with myself.
I love that. So yeah, that inner confidence. And then it sounds like just like that mental energy freed up to focus on what you want to focus on, whether that's your
Yeah,
artwork or connecting with
exactly.
yourself. Yeah, I really love that. And what do you feel like? I know you prior to working with us had tried a lot of different diets and different ways of healing and all of those things. So what made you feel that things were different? And like what I know it's scary, even if you trust us in the beginning, to just like jump in with us and listen to all the things we're telling you and all of that, right? So what kind of had you have that trust and faith when you came into our program?
Well, I'm a person that believe in energy,
Mm,
and for me, your voice is something that make me feel like uh, secure, comfortable. So I think it was like a big thing for me because I was uh, I was coming from dieting and dieting and dieting. So this was different. This was like um, t- you were telling me that you are worth it. So you can be free. So dieting is like being jail. You need to control yourself and control what you eat. So food was controlling me, and I want to be free. So hearing your voice and your energy make me feel secure.
mm.
So I think that was, in my opinion, a big thing for me.
Got it. I love that. I love that. I haven't heard that about my voice, but
Yes.
but thank you. And I think one of the pieces that it is like when we're in that place and there's like we don't have that self-trust, right? Anytime we've told ourselves, hey, we're not going to eat this, we end up
Mhm,
eating it, or hey, I'm going to stick to this
mhm,
diet, we end up coming off of it. And so I think sometimes we get, and I'm saying we because I was in that place for such a long time, we get into this lack of like trust and lack of belief in ourselves and feeling like something's wrong with us. And then you have this person, or, you know, now since you've graduated, it's a whole team. So now we have coaches on the team.
Yeah.
And so you have this kind of squad in your corner being like, no, like you are worthy. No, like we see this for you. Freedom is possible. And I think having that person outside of yourself that's so confident in your ability to get to the other side is really helpful. So I'm glad that helped you out on your journey. And I think this interview is going to be so inspiring for so many women. If anyone's watching this and wants that same kind of outside cheerleading and guidance and perspective, I'll drop a link someplace around this video, probably underneath the video, for you to chat with me or our coaching director. But Vicki, before we wrap up for the day, any words of wisdom or, you know, last lessons or anything that's on your heart about, you know, the program, about what you learned, about your journey, you know, before we jump off for the day?
Well, I think trust and love yourself, because you are perfect and you are not alone. There is always somebody there that could help you. If you feel lost, you just need to go and ask for help. But, you know, you need to love and trust yourself because you're beautiful. It's you know, I was like feeling always like, oh my God, I'm ugly, I'm fat. And that's not true. People need to realize that they are beautiful, you know, no matter what, the size or the color or the size or the whatever. If, you know, love and trust yourself is my big message.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's beautiful. And I think so many women will be able to relate to what you shared. I think it's super common to have those messages growing up that kind of teach us otherwise, right? Teach us that we have to change ourselves to love ourselves, or, you know, and it's nothing against the generations prior. They even had more of those messages than we did, right? Like
Yes.
they learned that 10 times more, probably way more aggressively. And so they're just passing down what they think is right. And so I think there's this process of unlearning what you've been programmed with and kind of reconnecting back to your strength and your power and your resilience and your beauty, which I think you've done an awesome job of, Vicki. So I'm so happy that you're doing so well 4 years later. This has been incredible.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, you're beyond welcome. I'm so happy you decided to do this. Yeah, when I saw your name, I'm like, Vicki? I'm like, wait, Vicki? Like this has been it's been so long. So yeah, so and then anyone watching this, there'll be a chance. So Vicki jumped in with us via the call that we're offering to anyone watching this interview series. And on that call, there's no pressure to join the program or anything. It's just really getting that like third party perspective on your struggle. And so if anyone wants to take that journey with us, you can click the link someplace around this video. And
Sure.
okay, and then Vicki, thank you. This has been absolutely incredible.
Thank you. I'm so happy.
Yeah, me too.